HGV professional Gorey classes case study 5, 2021. Larry operated his own haulage business in Ireland. So he operated, what does that mean?
He ran his own business, self-employed.
He didn't run it, your manager runs it, yes. But what does an operator do? An operator owns the vehicles, yeah? Guys, yeah?
Yeah.
Operated doesn't mean ran. That's your manager's job, to manage it. An operator owns the vehicles. So Larry owns the trucks. Larry operated his own haulage business in Ireland and was a regular driver of a low loader. His job this morning was to collect a new excavator, that's a big digger, from the Dublin docks and deliver it to a customer in Kerry. When he arrived at work, he changed into his overalls and work boots with protective toe caps. He collected his bag from the locker. This contained Larry's high visibility wear, work gloves, pencil, pens, clipboard, company phone, and first aid kit. Okay, there's lots of things missing there, but we're going to assume they're on the truck, the triangle and the extinguisher, etc. Larry then collected his documents and instructions for the journey from the clerk in the office. Okay, just to be clear, high visibility wear, pencil, pens are a recommendation from the RSA. They're not an obligation at the moment. Okay, high vis, pen and notepad, and torch recommendations from the RSA. They're not obligations. Larry checked the address on his road map, going old school, doesn't have a sat nav. In planning his route, he considered the truck's height, the maximum height of the truck.
4.65.
How many 6.5?
4.65.
4.65, yes. If it was 1.65, you'd be driving in Toy Town or something, wouldn't you? And maximum weight of a 2-axle?
18.
And a 3-axle?
26.
And a 4-axle?
32.
Good. So he's considering his physical restrictions, height, width. What's the maximum length of a rigid?
12 meter.
Say again?
12.
12 meters, exactly. A maximum length of an articulated truck?
16.
16 point.
16 point. Is it 16.5?
Yeah, 16.5, isn't it? For this journey, you'll be driving a 1-year-old truck fitted with the original digital tachographs. When did tachograph become... I can't hear you. When did it become an obligation to put digital tachographs in new trucks?
2006.
Yeah, 2006. After reading his documents, he realised it would be delivering a heavy, wide excavator to a quarry. What's the maximum overhang?
1 point something meters. 1.5 meters?
Not at the back, on the side. Sorry, I wasn't specific. Not forward overhang or rear overhang. What's the maximum side overhang?
300 mil or something?
300 mil. Is that each side or altogether?
Each side. Each side.
No, it's not. It's 150 on each side, which is 300 mil in total. So what's the maximum width of a truck?
2.55.
Plus the overhang. Plus the overhang.
2.85.
Yes, you would think so. So the maximum width of a truck with an overhang is?
5.15, yeah.
No? 2.55 plus 300 mils. So what's the maximum width with the overhang of a truck?
285.
You would think so, but the RSA can't do maths, so the maximum overhang, maximum width of a truck with an overhang is 2.9. I know, 2.55 and 300 is 2.85 as far as I'm concerned. But that's the maximum width overhang. That's the maximum width of a truck. But the maximum width of a truck with an overhang is 2.9. Okay?
Yeah.
Larry found his vehicle in the depot. He noticed it was a beaver tail low loader with 4 axles. So what's the maximum weight of that bad boy?
32.
32.
He did his walk around check and then completed his company's nil defect book report sheet. He attached this to the clipboard with the other documentation his supervisor had given him. He climbed up into his cab and placed his clipboard inside the glove compartment and asked his helper to get into the truck. So he has a little helper. He then carried out his cockpit drill. Shortly after moving off, he realised that he had not turned off his mobile phone. So he can just turn that off, yeah?
That, or get his helper to turn it off.
Sorry?
He shouldn't have used the phone when he's in the cab anyway.
It is illegal to use or touch your mobile phone while you are driving. So if you reach over and turn that phone off, you're committing a criminal offence. Okay? It's quite a famous one of a bus driver. He's being actually recorded for a training program. And he picks up his phone to look at the time, as some of us might do. Got sacked. He was caught on camera touching his phone. It's illegal, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Sad, but there you go. Anyway, here's the cockpit tool. Gauges working, documentation, sufficient fuel, wheels unchocked. How do you do that from inside? Okay, gear selector, mirrors, reflectorized side markings. How would you check that? Surely that'd be from outside, wouldn't it? Map holder.
Yeah.
Listen, that's not good enough, is it? He hasn't checked his demister, he hasn't checked his chair, he hasn't looked for his extinguisher, he hasn't looked for his first aid kit. I know he brought it on with him. Anyway, if you asked a question about his walk around or his cockpit drill, you can literally go back and just read it, okay? Remember, the scenario will be on the screen the whole time. When Larry arrived at the docks, he opened the door fully and facing the cab, climbed down using the steps and grab handles. How many points of contact?
3.
3 points of contact. If you think that's a joke, my brother-in-law has been driving for like 40, 50 years or something. And he was telling me his friend lost grip, fell backwards, hit his head off the pavement and died. Okay?
You should have checked his mirror there as well, getting down.
Yeah.
Or before, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you definitely should have checked for traffic, yeah. But anyway, this guy, this is a real life situation. He fell down and he died. But just falling off, you can do yourself a proper injury, yeah? He then contacted the freight manager who located the excavator. The manager told him to put on his safety jacket and then load his truck. Larry did as he was asked. The excavator started easily and Larry drove it slowly onto the truck. Everybody happy with that?
Is he allowed to drive given the fact that he's not...
No, he's not allowed to drive a truck, you lunatics. You can't just hop into a 10-ton excavator or whatever weight it is. You need a license, or as they say locally, you need a ticket. If you hear someone say you need a ticket, it just means a license, like you need a license for a dumper, a license for a digger, an excavator, a forklift, all different licenses. So you hear people on building sites saying all different tickets. Larry did as he was asked. The excavator started easily and Larry drove it slowly onto the truck. Once in position, he parked the excavator safely, then lowered the machine bucket onto the floor of the truck. He has to use the outriggers on the truck when loading the machine, as the excavator was a little wider than the floor of the truck. So he's got an overhang, maximum of how much?
300 mils.
300 mil.
300 mils. Larry then attached restraints onto the lashing points. Good tight ropes, yeah?
Yeah.
Who said
Liam,
yes?
what's an outrigger?
It's the legs that come out the side to give the vehicle stability.
Yeah.
Who said yes to good, strong ropes?
Should be chains.
Should be chains.
Absolutely, guys. This excavator weighs tons and tons. Ropes are not good enough. You need chains. It needs to be tied down properly. Since it was a wide load, he used warning markers fitted with lights as the day was overcast, and it might be dark before he reached his destination.
Should he use red flags there, shouldn't he?
You can use red flags as long as it's marked. If it's going to be dark, then you need to use lights. When it was finished, he checked the lights and switched on the amber beacon bar on the cab and warning beacon on the truck to alert other road users of the wide load. Before leaving, if it was an especially wide load, of course, you need a permit and you need an escort. Before leaving the port, Larry completed his consignment note and made sure to keep the correct copy for himself. I don't know what the correct copy is. Usually the top copy, isn't it? Larry's route was along the N7 dual carriageway. Maximum speed on a dual carriageway?
90.
Sorry?
80 kilometres.
Yes, it's 90 on the motorway, isn't it?
Yeah.
While signalling left and slowing to make a left turn into St Margaret's Road, which leads to the N7, Larry noticed a cyclist in his left mirror. Is that the near side or far side?
Near side.
Near side.
Yes, it's near the curb. The cyclist was beginning to move up the left side, the near side of a truck. Larry continued to watch his left mirror. He muttered to himself, recalling how the previous day he had encountered a cyclist wearing reflective clothing riding on the left in the city centre. Larry noticed the cyclist glancing over his right shoulder. Larry heard a horn blow and saw a car approaching on his right side. The car was warning Larry that the rear overhang of the truck had swung into the bicycle's path. Oh, signalling left and slowing. I don't see how the rear overhang is cycling. He's turning left.
Well, unless they started turning left already, that's where the overhang would have been.
Not on the right.
If the truck is turning left and the cyclist is on his left-hand side, how can the rear overhang swing into the cyclist path?
They're not swinging into the right side.
Sorry?
Was the overhang not swinging into the right side?
Yeah, it'd be swinging
sorry,
into the
Paul.
path of the oncoming traffic, wouldn't it?
Yeah, so he must have started turning left then, like, or else steered left when he was looking in his left mirror for the cyclist. Hence his tail swing going to the right.
Yes, so how can his tail swing be swinging into the path of the bicycle if the bicycle was on his left?
I don't think that's what mine says.
No, mine doesn't say that. Mine says Larry heard a horn blow and saw a car approaching on his right. The car was warning Larry that his rear overhang had swung into his path.
Into his path. On his right.
Yeah.
Because when the rear overhang of the truck had swung into his path, is it?
It should be, yeah.
Okay, that's fine. That makes sense. Larry was agitated by these events, and once around the corner, he tried to make up some time. So that's silly, isn't it? You don't drive fast. You drive in a safe and appropriate manner. He approached the next right-hand corner a little fast, braking on the corner. So what force goes shooting up if you brake on a corner?
Centrifugal.
Centrifugal.
And it puts pressure on the driver, on the vehicles, the brakes, the suspension, the tyres, and the environment. He had to steer hard to avoid hitting the curb. Once on the dual carriageway, the drive went smooth until the left front of the truck began to shake wildly and the steering wheel began to vibrate. Before Larry could say, blow out, his tyre burst. Holding his steering wheel firmly, he carefully crossed onto the hard shoulder. A chunk of rubber slapped around inside the wheel arch as Larry brought the truck to a gentle stop. When the lorry was completely stopped, Larry put on his high visibility vest and told his helper to remain seated while he got off to check the situation. What should you have done before you even left the truck?
Hazard lights.
Hazard lights and handbrake, yeah? He displayed his warning triangle and tried to stop traffic by waving his arms. That makes no sense at all. I can never get my head around that. Why would you try and stop the traffic? When he was unable to stop traffic, he got back into the truck and turned on his hazard warning lights. Who can stop traffic? Give me one, Lisa.
Garda.
Garda or emergency services. Owen.
Fire rate or policeman, sorry.
Emergency services or pointsman. Give me one, Maurice. Anybody?
Lollipop lady.
Yes,
School
a school warden.
Somebody in
RSA.
charge of animals.
And person in charge of animals, yes. So you have the emergency services. The RSA can't stop vehicles. That's why when they do inspections, they have to be with the Garda. The Garda stops the vehicles and the RSA get on. So emergency services, pointsmen, that's people working around building sites and stuff. School warden, can't say lollipop lady, that's sexist. You have to say school warden. And a person with animals such as cattle, agricultural animals. Dogs
You know the way yours is worded a bit different.
Yes.
Is yours the right one or is our one the right one?
It depends what revision of book you
getting
have.
out of the truck and waving his hands around and stuff like that.
It depends what revision of book you have. They're all correct at the time of printing. But listen, they all raise, don't worry about it anyway, because they all raise the same sort of questions. These scenarios are only to raise questions. You don't have to memorize the scenarios. He then contacted the depot and a repair truck soon arrived to fix the puncture. When the repair had been completed, Larry quickly checked his load. Okay, he should have checked his load, not quickly checked his load. As he got close to Kerry, he had to slap on his brakes to avoid hitting some sheep. A person with animals. Why he had to slap on his brakes? Should have had his eyes open. That were crossing the road. The excavator rolled towards the cab, so it was not secured correctly, was it?
No.
Luckily, there were no other vehicles around. He attached extra restraints to secure the excavator. He made it to Kerry within his time window, which was half an hour short of the industry standard. I have no idea what the industry standards are. I've asked many people. I think this is just something that some fella stuck on the end of it.
Maybe it was like a company standard rather than...
Possibly. What does your book say? Industry or
Or
company?
else the same written at the end, which was a half an hour short of the industry standard.
Yeah, industry is industry. Company is an individual company. If you say company standard, I'd accept that. But I don't know what this industry standard is. As far as I'm concerned, that's pure nonsense. Most people who watch these videos like and subscribe. I'd like to say thank you.